The average cost per mile traveled in an Uber or Lyft is about $2.50. Driving a Tesla costs about 25 cents per mile. They also sell their vehicles with the ability to add the full self-driving package, a suite of hardware and software that Tesla hopes that they can improve over time to make your vehicle fully autonomous. Electric vehicles cost less to operate and require less maintenance than traditional vehicles. This makes electric vehicles the best candidates for high mileage use cases like car sharing. As Tesla improves their current vehicles to become fully autonomous, I'm predicting that the demand for their vehicles will grow exponentially. All of that brings us to the most polarizing vehicle I've ever seen, the CyberTruck. The CyberTruck is basically an armored personnel carrier with a stainless steel body. It's scratch resistant, sledgehammer resistant, and for $100 today, you can put in a deposit that will actually lock in your price for the vehicle, including the full self-driving features, which are projected to go up in the future. Did I mention that that's a refundable $100? Personally, I've ordered more than a dozen of them. Personally, I've ordered more than a dozen of them. Personally, I've ordered more than a dozen of them. Personally, I've ordered more than a dozen of them. Personally, I've ordered more than a dozen of them.
What's up? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. We're going to get into this robo-taxi discussion and Tesla. The best way to help the channel, would greatly appreciate it. Number one, thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Let's get into this. Do you ever get that feeling that something very important is happening and no one is listening? Most of the time you see that happen with dangers, risks, like the Titanic. There were many warnings about that iceberg before they actually hit it. All those warnings were ignored. In this case, we have an exciting future, a lucrative investment potential right in front of us. And it seems like not everyone's listening or watching. In late October, Tesla released their full self-driving beta version to a few select Tesla drivers. It's one of the greatest technological advancements of my lifetime. We have cars on the road right now that are driving themselves, making left-hand turns, stopping at stoplights, making right-hand turns, creeping into the intersection to see if it's clear, driving on side streets without lane markers.
Trip it out. Okay, we good? We good? It's navigating around the car!
You didn't do that. You didn't do that.
I didn't do it. Dude, I'm not doing anything other than being very cautious, Elon. You're a madman.
Humans are there ready to take over any moment. We're not fully autonomous yet, but we're making huge leaps. This future is legit. This future is going to happen where cars are on the road driving themselves.
There's been an insane amount of progress in a very short amount of time. With the progress I've seen since release, the question no longer is if these cars will ever be fully self-driving, but when.
In the year 2020, with all the crazy things happening, why hasn't this made the list that we have cars driving themselves? Just like any technology, when it first comes out, it is scary as hell.
As it turned, and we'll get into the turn, it was kind of a little scary.
Like, I couldn't imagine being on the first commercial flight. I would be scared out of my mind. But you look at it now, the airplane's probably the place where I get my best sleep. Even as uncomfortable as those chairs are, I'm out. Look at this footage of the Tesla avoiding a deer on its own.
So driving along here, when you can see a deer pops out in front of me, and almost right away you can see the deer is all the way on the left side of the road, and there's a little square on my screen representing the deer as a pedestrian symbol. That's the same symbol used for humans. As the deer continues across the road, my car begins to brake, which you can tell by this little green line here. That is my car regenerating energy and slowing down. It tries to plan a path around the deer, moving to the right to avoid the deer. As the deer moves right across the road, the car then reroutes, and it shows on the screen a path to the left to avoid the deer, while still braking with the green regen line. As my car gets closer to the deer, it moves over to the left to avoid it. Then my car is finished slowing down and speeds back up as the deer is off the road.
So what about the CyberTruck?
Where is that CyberTruck? Is that around here?
That's somewhere around here. Bring on the CyberTruck. Cue music.
Why would I say that you have to, if you can afford it, pre-order a CyberTruck and lock in the full self-driving? We're in the middle of difficult economic times for many, and Congress just passed a $600 stimulus check. But whether you can afford it or not, I recommend being open to seeing what other people do. Even if I can't afford something, I'm looking at what moves are people making that do have money. So maybe I can get on my grind to get some money, or when I do, I have ideas what to look for and how I can leverage my money to make more money. Elon Musk is basically screaming from the rooftops about this financial opportunity. When you go to pre-order a Cybertruck, you get the option to lock it in at $10,000. I know, shock, it's a lot of money. That's just for the self-driving option on top of the price of the truck. Now keep in mind, the self-driving option has been increasing over the last few years. It was as low as $5,000. Then it went up to $6,000, then $7,000, then $8,000, and now it's at $10,000. So it's doubled over time. There are some caveats. If you buy a Tesla and you buy the full self-driving option and your car gets totaled, insurance companies aren't always pricing that into your replacement pricing. So you'd have to figure that out. If you are trading in a Tesla to Tesla, they do not pay you for the full self-driving. It would just be a loss. Just like with any investment, there's some risk, there's some upside and downside. If you can buy multiple Teslas, you would have to pay $10,000 for each Tesla to have the software that allows full self-driving. Now, one of the positives are if you sell the Tesla privately, the full self-driving option does transfer with it, so it does keep some value there potentially. But that's why I'm calling out the Cybertruck in particular. This is not a normal truck. This thing is a tank. It's going to last for a long time. It's so durable. It's built to be a robo-taxi, to do a ton of miles. And say it takes 5 years for robo-taxis to be in full force. This truck will be around. Let me read off the website. It's a good description. It's built with an exterior shell made for ultimate durability and passenger protection. Starting with nearly impenetrable exoskeleton, every component is designed for superior strength and endurance. From ultra-hard 30X cold-rolled stainless steel structural skin to Tesla armor glass. This thing is built to be a robo-taxi. It's built to drive many miles. It's built to get a scratch and you don't care about it. There's no paint on this thing. It's just literally cold-rolled stainless steel, resisting rust. So the truck is going to come out, they said late 2021. They're still building the factory in Texas. We'll see. Most likely 2022 and beyond is when you're going to start seeing Cybertrucks on a mass level be delivered. Now, Tesla does have more Cybertruck pre-orders than the number of cars it's delivered in 2 years. So there's a lot. But the thing about this car is it's just built with the exoskeleton. They're literally going to be putting these things together like boom, 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 boom. So it'll take a while, but they're easier to build, quicker to build in theory. We'll see if it works out in practice, but I wouldn't doubt Elon. So Tesla reserves the right to change anything on these reservations, but as it stands right now, all you need to do is put down $100 to reserve a Cybertruck. And that will lock in your full self-driving when it's released, when it's available. You buy the car and you'll only pay $10,000 for the full self-driving package. So think it through. For $100, you get to lock in the price of full self-driving at $10,000. You might not get the truck until 2022, 2023. Over the last year or so, the price of full self-driving has doubled. Tesla has released the full self-driving beta, proving they're closer to robo-taxis. What if robo-taxis are a thing in 2023? How much do you think that $10,000 price for full self-driving would be worth? Elon Musk thinks it would be worth $100,000. There are skeptics. There are no guarantees. I am not a financial advisor. I'm giving you these details and a little bit of my opinion. You could turn the car into a 24/7 Uber. So literally it could be an Uber driver 24/7 minus charging times. About how much does an Uber driver make? $36,000 a year. Let's just do a conservative estimate. $60,000 a year. Potentially, you could buy a Cybertruck and it could make you $60,000 a year. How much do you think, if that happens, how much do you think robotaxi, the full self-driving package that makes it a robotaxi, would be worth? It would be pretty much a commercial option at that point. Not for the average citizen, except those who bought in early. Could make you about $60,000 a year. I'm just throwing out numbers there. And the truck's going to last 10 plus years. You can do the math real quickly. So you can nitpick these numbers all you want and say, well, this might happen, that might happen. The big picture is $10,000, if you can afford it for it right now, looks to be an amazing investment. Here's a quote from Elon Musk. Buying FSD, full self-driving, is an investment in the future, and we are confident that it is an investment that will pay off to the consumer, to the benefit of the consumer. In my opinion, buying full self-driving option is something people will not regret doing. So it's something you have to think about. If you're leasing a car, that's a different option. But if you're buying a car outright, it's something to look into. So why does Tesla have such a rabid, and I mean rabid, fan base? Besides Elon's amazing vision and incredible product and incredible companies, if you had faith in Tesla's vision and saw what no one else saw, you could literally be a millionaire, or I should say Teslanaire.
My name is Brandon Smith. I'm a 32-year-old video producer. So I originally invested in Tesla in 2017. I invested $10,000, and today it's worth, I think, about $1 million, give or take a couple $100,000, depending on the day.
If you had vision to see what even the experts didn't see, you know what? It's okay if everyone's not listening. Shh, don't tell anyone. It'll be our little secret. Take care.